Greetings, whiskey folk, and welcome to Drinking Out Loud. I am your host, Adam Bradshaw, and this is the final video, this season at least, with our special guest, James Bornn.
Where are we going to film next time?
I don't know, yeah.
My basement?
Scotland.
Ooh.
There we go. I still have a trip in the bank for that. We'll be going at some point next year. Coming, no? This is a really exciting whiskey because I didn't even know this existed until James tasted me on it a little while ago, and it's gorgeous. This is the White Heather, and look at that beautiful blue box. It's almost the same blue as the blue we're using for the Strath right now, and I simply remember you saying we should steal the pattern.
Yeah. If you use that like right on the walls and even in the hotel room,
it'd be glorious.
Yeah.
Use the gold foiling. All right.
Do you think it's safe to say that the person who designed the original McNair's packaging did not also design this?
Yeah. Fun. That's a familiar bottle shape, isn't it?
Yeah. If you've ever been to an independent bottler, say in, I don't know, Campbelltown?
Yeah, somewhere on the Mull of Kintyre. So, all right. How many points?
8.
Yes! Love hotel
That
rooms.
smells nice. So the B word is on this bottle. Not Billy Walker.
Although he's involved.
He is definitely involved. So yeah, a lot of people may not realize, we associate Billy Walker with his time probably most at Glendronach and Benriach, but he was in fact working at Ballantyne's back in the 1980s and early 1990s. So needless to say, that's a lot of his familiarity and connections with Chivas, which, of course, who he bought. All 3 of the distilleries, or 4 of the distilleries that he owned, 3 out of the 4 came from Chivas Brothers and Pernod Ricard, the parent company.
Nice.
So intimately familiar.
Yeah,
of course. And when he purchased Glenallachie from them, there was not just malts from other distilleries in there, but also some wonderful old grain whiskeys. And in fact, he went right out and created a 15 and a 21. The 21 hasn't been released in a while, but this latest batch of 15 is wonderful.
If you got the old grain, you got the old malt, you may as well.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's still some Billy Walker signatures here. I mean, we've definitely got some sherry casks.
It actually outright says on the back that it contains aged Glenallachie, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of a vehicle for maybe some Glenallachie that isn't quite as bold. And I think it's safe to say that probably the grain content is not super high.
It's high enough though.
Yeah.
Like,
you want a bit, right?
Yeah, I've had a few blends recently where, like, it's a blended whiskey instead of a blended malt, but you can't really tell. I like to have a little bit of that grain influence actually be like visible.
Yeah. Yeah,
actually,
which you get here.
The circle.
Right.
Like there's such little grain in the second edition of the circle. It's like, why is there even any grain in here?
But it's like a tiny amount.
Yeah, it's like 1%.
Well, the reason that grain was in whiskey in the first place, I mean, other than to lower the price, was to create a product that was kind of more drinkable. Yeah. And that's definitely what's been achieved here. And I wonder if that whiskey is older than 15 years.
Oh, probably.
Especially the grain.
They probably use the same grain in all of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason that they started using grain a lot is because it's easier to make a consistent grain product because of the type of distillation that is. It's not in and out. It's just a continuous thing. You get much more consistency. So it's easier to build on that consistent base to build a consistent blend.
This would appeal to absolutely everyone. This is kind of one of those unique whiskeys that if you were an enthusiast, this would be an awesome daily dram.
Yep.
And if you only drank kind of big brands and accidentally ended up with this because your house was painted in that same motif, you'd be pretty happy.
Yeah.
Like it's the bottle you pour for your family at Christmas.
It's the bottles that kind of fly in the past at this time of year, but with an age statement, to be honest. We were just talking about one of our big sellers here at the Strath is the Adelphi blend, the Dancing Man, because the price point is on point.
Yeah, there's a comparable to be made here with the Dancing Man.
It's a 15-year-old Dancing Man. It's also, in a sense, a 15-year-old slightly lower ABV Cutty Sark Prohibition. Yeah. Right? It's that kind of approachable style of whiskey that everyone's going to like, but this time with some experience, with some age, with some complexities and delicacy.
It's very crushable.
I'm trying to say the word delicate in that way, but it's delicate Delicacy? It's not delicacy, it's
No, that's where you go to get a sandwich.
Yeah, yes.
Which, this would pair well with that.
It would. It's a great sandwich whiskey.
What sandwich would you pair with White Heather 15?
You know? I wouldn't want to go too over the top, like nothing with sauerkraut or big pickles or anything.
I think something with like provolone cheese and mortadella.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like the type of sandwich you get in your lunch when you're a kid.
See, you can tell that I'm much more English on my sandwiches because I'm going to go cream cheese and turkey.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a little
very much in the same vein, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the best sandwich place in Victoria? This is just to troll Jeff.
Italian import store.
Okay.
On Blanchard. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they owe you a sandwich now for saying that. Which you can then bring down to the shop and share with a dram of the White Heather 15.
Absolutely.
We've just made everyone's day.
Yeah. Go to the Italian import store. Right
I mean,
around
maybe
the corner.
do it on your lunch break.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a whole sandwich, no one will notice that you've had a dram at the Strath at lunchtime, will they? No.
It's only half an ounce.
Safe.
It's fine. Well, there's the whole thing that companies aren't allowed to tell you what you can, what you're not allowed to do on your break.
Should I tell my boss that?
Yeah, so long as you're not like coming in intoxicated afterwards, they legally can't stop you from having a beer on your break.
Well, that's a fascinating idea.
Yeah.
I wonder how far those limits stretch.
I know, right? Cool. Well, thank you very much for joining this.
Did we say the price?
Oh, no, I'm not sure we have. We just said it's a good price. And it is a really bloody good price because full price, this is going to be about $140, which is well below that glorious $10 a year mark that a lot of people still measure whiskey by, which is a few years old now. But
it's really rare to get under that, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. But of course, 10% off, so it'll be more towards $125.
Sold.
Yeah, I know, right? Glorious whiskey. I'm shocked that I hadn't come across this until now. I'm really happy to have had my eyes opened to the majesty that is Billy Walker playing with grain.
Do you think going back like 120 years, this was probably like a common type of whiskey? This is what I imagine like people drank in like 1890.
I think more likely 1910s, when all of the extract whiskey that was made in the 1890s after the whiskey bust was suddenly 15 years old because they had a slowdown in consumption.
That's a good take.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, it certainly feels like throwback. Cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It has been an absolute honor having you here in our makeshift studio in a random hotel in Vancouver in the rain. I look forward to seeing where I'll film with you next. All right.
I'll be there.
Stay well. Catch you later.